Hello bro, someone could to fix zero, BroFive production, next part of Legends of Talia Arcadia. I said Arcadia the first two times, right? So start going right here. She's trying to set me on fire. That's why I'm so slow to react. Yeah, because I didn't expect her to be a mage. Too slow. In the end, it isn't Celise's fire spell that brings me to my knees. Powerful though it is, and it really is powerful, I give credit where credit's due. For such an unassuming, ordinary-looking girl, she's very strong, well-trained. The fire licks at my sides. It sears the skin off my flesh. It hurts. It really does hurt. But Cecilia isn't the one who defeats me. It's my own foolishness, my stupidity, my willingness to trust. I thought I dispensed of that years ago. Apparently not. If only Cecile wasn't so pretty. Pretty girls really will be the death of me. I don't think a fire spell is enough to take me down. I wake up, try to open my eyes, first one, then the other. It hurts. My head is pounding. The inside of my mouth tastes of charcoal. When I swallow, I feel my throat convulsing. It feels like I'm inhaling a ball bearing. I choke. There is rank. It smells of death and burning. It takes a few moments to work out the smell is coming from me. So I see you are awake. I lift my head. There's Cecilia, but she looks different to how she did when I first met her. More serious, somehow almost threatening. Cecile, I thought you were helpless. You thought wrong. People tend to not take me seriously. That's their loss. They only realize how powerful I am when it's too late. You make it sound like you lure innocent women into your village and set them on fire all the time. It's not a hobby of mine, but it's hardly called you innocent. Lucky for you, I didn't cause any lasting damage. I used quite a powerful spell, but but you look fine. She's right. The fire spell was rather powerful. It's seeing my skin. I could feel it peeling away like strips of wallpaper. It's better now, though, which is more than I can say for my clothes. It seems the legends are true. You really are durable. All the best warriors priests are. Did they really operate on your spinal? That's what people say. I'm not at liberty to tell you that. If I shared any official search secret, they have to have my head. Oh, you don't need to concern yourself with the church right now. They're the least of your worries. I smile sarcastically. Well, that makes a nice change. For a few moments I see the stony expression persist. I think I can see a pang of guilt perhaps on her pretty face. For all her big talk, she is still a young woman. But her expression soon tightens. She grits her teeth together. Why is my headset cord has gotten stuck? I bet you don't even know why you're here, do you? It seems like quite a poor way to pay somebody back for saving your life, I must admit, though perhaps you do things differently in foresight. Come off it. You know my life was never in any danger. I did wonder about that. If you're such a proficient mage, why didn't you protect yourself? Everybody knows mandragoras are weak against fire. Well, what do you think I was doing, Arcadia? Luring me into coming to your village and so on? It doesn't take me long to figure it out. You were trying to lure me into a trap. That's right, and it worked out rather well, didn't it? I could always escape from this cell. I'm not sure about that. I wonder. I'm surrounded by stone walls and iron bars. I do have my sword. I don't know any magic. I could pick the lock maybe, but I wouldn't be surprised if this cell is enchanted somehow. This is quite a precious situation. It really is amazing. I would never have thought that I, Cecile Rhodes, could capture the Great Arcadia. Actually, I would take my she said that she had her sword, so I would just take my sword and stick it straight through the iron bars and pierce her heart. Well, her boob would be pierced first by this blade. No, I'm not that great. I just happened to kill a lot of people. Yes, you did. You let a lot of people die. I'm inclined to agree with her, but she's a few people have told me this during my lifetime, and it trips me up. I beg your pardon? You heard me. You let everybody in Freycross die. Ah, so she knows about that, does she? That wasn't in my proudest hour. That's putting it lightly. Do you even know why you're here? I manage. Imagine you hold something of a grudge? No, it isn't just me. I wasn't involved, not directly, but my sister. My sister is the village chief. She's the leader of Farside. Did you know that? I don't believe you mentioned it. Well, it's true. Our family has governed this village for centuries to keep it safe from harm. Farside isn't a rich village. We don't mine rare minerals, and we don't have any deposit of coal or oil nearby. All we have are farms, pigs and chickens. We try to fend for ourselves. We do have some connection with Freycross village, though. At least we did, before it went up in flames. Yes, until that happened. Still a hand trembles, she clenches them into fists. It wasn't 12 years ago my mother and grandmother took Celesta to Freycross village. We'd had a bad harvest that year and we were going to trade. Some of our cows were for wheat and corn. I stayed at home with my father. It was too little to travel, and anyway, I'm younger than Celesta, and I wasn't going to be the next head. I didn't need to see how trade is done. My sister was so excited. She'd never been on a trip so far away from home before. She braided her hair and tied it up with a green ribbon. She wore her best dress and packed her favorite nightgown. She thought it was like going on a holiday. She made sure to bring her most prized possession, too. Her woodcut of Arcadia, the lady warrior and hero of Kadaf, which she bought with her own money from the traveling market of Melora. A look at the stone floor, anything to avoid Syl's gaze. That's the worst thing about being regaled with stories when you star in the main character. For better or worse, you already know how things are going to end. When you arrived at Freycross village after a days long we were terrible, they discovered something amazing. Something that put all thought of trade off their minds. They found you. You had arrived at the village before they had, and there was a banquet being held in your honor. Everyone was so excited. The thought of it was a good omen, my sister especially. Cecile shakes her head. She was overjoyed. You were her muse, her idol, and she really did love you. She loved you, and then, when the dragon attacked, you abandoned the village. You could have defeated it, but you didn't. The villagers went looking for you, but you weren't in your room. You ran away, and you let everybody burn. Everybody died. My mother and my grandmother, and Celesta almost died too. The dragon's fire caught her legs and the hem of her skirt. It burned them horribly. Now she can't walk, and you should know that dragon's fire can do. It doesn't allow healing. That's right, my sister's legs won't ever heal, no matter what we do. She forced to relieve the sensation of having her skin melted away from her flesh every waking hour of her life. For the last 12 years. But that isn't the worst thing. This isn't what hurts her the most. I think I have a relatively good idea what that might be. I don't even need to ask. I can't remember it clearly. The young girl. The torn clothes. Her legs black and burned and horribly melted. The smell of burning bodies and melting flesh was unbearable. And in a quiet voice, taut with pain, the young girl asked why. I don't know what to say. I didn't have any answers to give. I could have said sorry, but that would have been nothing more than meaningless noise and empty gestures, so I didn't apologize. Instead, I looked down at the girl with her burnt legs and tear-filled eyes and simply said, "That's how life is." And I walked away. I left her. Celesta didn't die. She lay there on the ground in the dirt in pain and agony almost 2 days. The village burnt around her, and the smell of smoke and dead bodies was almost more than she could bear. She was only 12. She wanted to die, but she couldn't. And then, after these hellish 2 days, she was found by a group of people from Farside. They had come on horseback to see why my mother and grandmother and big sister hadn't returned yet. When they found Celesta lying on the ground, dazed and agony but still alive, they brought her back here. They nursed her back to health, or what little health is afforded to her now. She was the only one of my family who survived, and she never quite recovered. But what hurt my sister most was what you said. What you did. Nothing. That's right, you did nothing. I bow my head. Cecile is right. Maybe I could have saved that young girl if I thought her life was worth saving, but I didn't. I knew with her legs mangled like that, even if she did survive, she wouldn't be able to survive happily. I know what kind of fate would have awaited that young girl if I had saved her, so I decided her life was no longer worth living. I left her to die. You can have fun sitting in the cell, reflect on your action, think about what you did. I eyed Cecilia cautiously. And if I decided to apologize, will you let me go? If I was going to let you go, I never would have bothered capturing you to begin with. That's what I thought too, but I just wanted to be sure. Despite what she had done to me, I still can't really imagine Cecilia is a killer. She's too sweet, too soft, for all the animosity she might bear towards me. I don't think she is a bad person. Then again, I don't think most people are bad people. I don't think most of the soldiers from Sorel I fought in Kadaf were bad people either. They were just doing their job. But they still killed Lucy. They would have killed me too. Even good people, if backed into a corner, can fight and kill with the best of them. The worst of them, more like. What about Cecile? Come dawn the next day, you're going to be executed. She says it simply, there's no emotion in her voice. Have the whole village come to this consensus? They were against it at first, but I argued on Celesta's behalf. Soon they all came around. Everybody loves Celesta. They'll do anything to make her feel better. Even killing you. Killing me won't fix Celesta's leg. Maybe not, but it might ease the pain in her heart. It will make her happier. I doubt it. I don't care what you think. You're not in position to talk. Cecile glares at me. She stamples on her foot against the ground. Electricity gurgles about the bars of the cell. It's a warning. I was right. The cell has been surrounded by magic. They really don't want me escaping. We have to kill you. We have to. It's the only way you ever experience the pain my sister feels. I imagine she must be in a lot of pain, yes? So are you going to do the honors yourself? Well, Cecilia takes a step backward for a few moments. She looks unsettled, but she soon regains her composure. I'm the best mage in the village, and I'm Celesta's sister. If anybody is qualified to kill you, I am. And you plan to make a public spectacle out of it? That's right. I drag you into the village square by your hair, and I show everybody what happens when you betray a member of the Farside village. I don't care if you are a legendary hero, it doesn't matter to me. How frightening. But legends don't spout out for no reason. Even without a sword, I'm more than capable of defending myself. Not if I bind you with magic. You have a lot of faith in your magic, don't you? Yes, I do. I started practicing when I was young. I was just a hobby at first, but after what happened to Celeste, I was determined I was going to get stronger, strong enough to protect her, so nobody can ever hurt her again. Strong enough to take down even the great warrior Arcadia if I had the chance. So you've been practicing for my sake. I'm flattered. No, it's not for your sake, it's for Celesta's. For revenge. Yes, and soon I'll finally be able to end your life. The people of Talia won't be happy with you. I don't care about the people of Talia. They never worried about Farsight, so why should I worry about them? Our village could be looted by bandits or destroyed by giants, and nobody would care. We're nothing to be people. We're nobody. In small villages like mine, we look after ourselves. It's the only thing we can do, and even if everybody hails you as a hero, we on Farsight know the truth. You're not a hero. You're nothing more than a coward. You left out one of our villagers for dead. You let our leader and our past leader die. That's something you deserve to be punished for, and nobody else in Talia will do it. Then we will. The people might revere you as a god, but that's ridiculous. You're just a normal woman, and you tricked them. You tricked all of them, including my sister. Well, your legacy will come to an end soon enough, tomorrow morning. I lean back against the stone walls of the cell. Water drops slowly from the ceiling onto the ground. Drip, drip, drip. I bring my knees beneath my chin, rub my arms around my legs, ponder. I agree with Cecilia in part. I never believed I was good. I never wanted to be one. I just wanted to live a quiet life. Really, truly. My mother wanted me to become a white mage. She wanted me to aid a fallen soldier from afar. Unfortunately, I had no talent as a mage. I can't heal people, I can only hurt them. I became a warrior priest instead. My mother didn't talk to me for 6 months after I signed up. It was a difficult time. Then my mother died, not in Kada, but in another earlier war. She was hit by a stray fire spell while trying to tend to a fallen soldier. She was incinerated alive, not so different from the people of Raycross. And so thought being a mage was a safe profession. She was wrong. Nobody's safe when there's a war going on, and Talia has been in a war with Sorel for as long as I can remember. It's impossible to live a quiet life when you're in a constant fear. Maybe that's why I decided to become a soldier. I was only 11 when my mother died. Oh well. You're wrong about a couple of things. Oh, what's that? I never tried to trick anybody, least of all your sisters. They all deluded themselves. Talia is a sad country. War rages and we lose lives and people mourn up and down the country. They turn to church, they turn to the army, they turn to heroes. When they realize there are no real heroes and everybody just scared and sad and small as they are, they create heroes, amplify legends, spread stories. Some of them are true, some of them are false. And people like me who just happen to be in the right place at the right time get all kinds of responsibilities thrust upon us. Titles, accolades, adoration. I might be the great warrior Arcadia, scourge of battlefield, champion Arcadia, the protector of Emerald Village, but at the end of the day, I'm just a human. Cecile thinks I try to trick everybody. She's wrong. They trick themselves. That's the only way to survive in this world. I didn't think you looked so pathetic. That's when Celesta says when she lays eyes on me. The young leader of Farside Village, foisted into position on authority for too soon, looks down at me. She's the one, she's on the other side of iron bars and still in my cell. Might be expected. The bars are fortified with Celestia's fearsome magic, and I don't think I'll be escaping anytime soon. I don't really want to try either. Cecile's sister Celesta looks much like she did all those years ago back in Freycross. She still has the same fluffy hair and the pale blue eyes. She really is cute, even though she is bound to a wooden wheelchair. Her legs are completely concealed in the pale green fabric. I wonder what they look like now. Celeste pursed her lips. Maybe it's because of the pain. She's been in a constant pain for 12 years. Let's check one thing. Because if that actually did give me a picture, I'm gonna end this here. It did not give me a picture. So I have to keep on reading them. All those years ago I was the one lying on the ground while you looked up at me. But I imagine you can remember that. I remember more than you think. Oh, so you are saying I waited heavily upon your mind? No, not so heavily. I've been seeing a lot of terrible things in my time, but it did occur to me every once in a while. I see, so my suffering was something you only bothered to remember every once in a while when it was convenient for you. Unfortunately for me, I had to live with my condition for over a decade, and I can't remember it every once in a while. It will stay with me forever. You have my sympathies. Cesla bites down on her lower lip. She doesn't look very happy. Neither would I be if I was in her situation. Sympathy. You think I want sympathy? It's all I have to give you. No, you're wrong about that. There's more you can give me. Maybe then I won't have to suffer so. And what is that exactly? My life? Your life exactly. You know, Arcadia, I used to love you. I loved you dearly. I thought you were the most incredible hero in the world. When I met you at Freycross, and by chance too, I was happy. I thought I was going to die. Then I nearly did die, and you didn't do anything to help me. You left me. Can you imagine that? Being abandoned by your childhood hero? I shake my head no. I tell her that I can't. I never had a childhood hero. I was desperately unimaginative little girl. The closest I really had was my mother, who moved the whole family back to Spinel so she could become a white mage. She abandoned her humble job in Little Haven, working as a baker by my father's side to help her warriors recover in our many armies. But there was nobody to help my mother when she was hit by a stray magic arrow. She died. Some hero she turned out to be. You turned your back on me, Arcadia, but now I'm going to turn my back on you. If it makes you feel better, go ahead. I will. You talk big now, but we'll see tomorrow. We'll see. When you kill me? Yes, when we will you. When we will you. That's not a correct sentence. I want to heal your legs. Nothing will, but it might heal something else. She presses her hand against her chest, every eyelash flutter. My heart. If her heart is one placed by needless bloodshed, perhaps I did the right thing, choosing not to save her. Talia is full of people like that already. People like me. We don't need any more. Cecilia guards the cell during the night. She sits in a wooden chair just beyond the iron bars and a book in her hands. So she can read, that's surprising. A lot of people in Talia can't, particularly those who hail from small villages like Forside. Maybe it's because she is the daughter of one of the past village leader. She might have received a special education. I tilt my head to the side, trying to glean what the book's about. Under the cover of Darkness Only, a single candle illuminates the cell. It's hard to see. I think it's a compendium about plants, herbs, something to do with medicine. Is that for Celesta? Zilla sets the book on her lap and gives me a stern look. What do you care about Celesta? After meeting her myself, I'm rather curious. I want to know more about her, and you. Well, I don't want to talk, not an attempted murderer. I'm not an attempted murderer. I've killed hundreds of people in my lifetime, like I did at Kada, but I suppose you don't care about that. That's different. You had orders from the church. You had to fight. I had orders, yes, but I didn't have to kill anyone. Their lives were precious too. I'm sure the men and women I killed on the battlefield had families too. Mother and father, aunts and uncles, grandparents, and beloved older brother or sister maybe. Stop. Just stop. Stop what? You know what I mean. All the false equivalences. I'm just weighting the worth of my one human life against another. Killing people on the battlefield is not the same as leaving an innocent young girl to die. Maybe. Maybe not. There's no maybe, it's the truth, plain and simple. Cecilia snorts. You really haven't learned anything, have you? She looks aggravated. She picks up her book about the herbs once more, but she can't concentrate. She shifts her right foot, tapping against the ground instantly. This is an unusual experience. People don't often tell me to shut up, not quite so harshly. I frown, tilt my head to the one side. I'm not usually this talkative, but there's precious else to do. I could sleep, I suppose, but I don't want to wail away in my final night before my impending execution sleeping. It would seem like a bit of a waste. Why are you here, Cecily? Because I have to keep watch to make sure you don't run away. I don't think I could run away right now. You're exaggerating my abilities. I don't want to take any chances. You are a sneaky one. Not as sneaky as you are. You did trick me. If I hadn't, you could have cut me down with a sword in a second. I could, but I don't think I would have done that. Why not? What would be the point? I can't believe the people of Talia think you are here. The more you talk, the more I dislike you. You would be the first person to say that. Don't sound so proud of yourself. I'm not. Good, you won't be. Water trickles from the dingy ceiling. Drip, drip, drip. Sounds almost like the cell is crying. But I don't think anybody would cry for my sake. Nobody I know anyway. My parents are dead. Lucy is dead. All the people I care about are dead. Maybe my instinct back in Spinal Army, Miwa, would she tear or two? But I doubt it. For fox people, even those integrated among Spinal society can be awfully aloof. Besides, Miwa was never particularly emotional. Even if she did ruffle my hair or slip me a piece of candy from time to time. I just a shadow, a relic of the past, a machine created by the church will stay young and fresh until I reach old age. And it will all catch up with me, the gravity of my sins perhaps. For your sister didn't stay here for very long. Celesta? That's what I meant, unless you have another sister. No, Celesta's all my family I have, and might not even have her if you had your own way. Cecilia sniffs. Celeste can't stay in the underground dungeon too long. It's too damp. It irritates her leg and she might catch a cold. I have heard a horned dragon's fire can weaken the immune system. She gets sick so very easily. As if it weren't enough that she can't walk, she always bedridden with colds, fevers, and high temperatures. How can she run a village if she's always ill? Sometimes I step in for her, but only sometimes. She's very duty-driven. She doesn't like pawning off her responsibilities other than onto other people. But if she's ill, she should rest. If she rested whenever she was ill, she'd be resting all the time. Besides, she feels like she has to prove herself because of her legs. That's right. She's afraid people will think she is not fit to be a leader because of her condition, so she always exaggerating herself. She forever takes on more than she should, even though it makes her sicker. I admire her intensity, but I don't see when she hopes to accomplish by working herself to death. Instead, she worried about upsetting you. She is. She worries a good deal, but she has so many other things to worry about. I stopped nagging her after a while. It didn't seem fair, not when she trying so hard. Cecilia looks down at her lap, at the leather-bound book resting upon it. She sighs. I don't know what you might think of Celesta, but she isn't cruel, she isn't cold, she's a good girl, really. Even though she wants to kill me. Even so, she feels like she has to. It's the only way for her to more on. Maybe she stop being so hard on herself. She stopped feeling like a failure. Cecilia sniffs. She wipes her eyes with the back of her arm. Tears. It's hard to tell in the darkness. That's another reason why Celeste can't spend too much time with you. She's worried if she watches you suffer, she's taught to sympathize with you. Despite everything that happened, she's still her childhood hero. She didn't throw away the wooden cut of your face. It's still in her bedroom. Sometimes she still looks to it for advice. She can't be with you for too long. It will make her realize how real all of this is. And then it will hurt her. Ah, yes, guilt. I click my tongue against the roof of my mouth. Emotions can be quite difficult at times. You speak like you have no emotion of your own. I do. I just try to bury them. Why? It's like your sister said, it's hard to take a human life if you know what you're doing. Even for warriors like you. Even for me. Yes, at first at least. But you left my sister. Maybe because I'm grown used to leaving wounded soldiers on the battlefield. The dead and the dying have become part of my everyday life. It's different for your sister. She is accustomed to a battle. Taking a life is a heavy burden. I don't know if Celeste will be able to bear it. She might not be strong enough. Are you saying my sister's weak? No, I think she's very strong. She has a fierce sense of justice. That's why she wanted to capture me. But that's also why killing me would do more harm than good. Who could live with the knowledge that they ordered the death of their own childhood hero? It's one thing to lose faith in a hero, it's another to end their life yourself. Do you think Celeste can handle that? Oh, I see how it is. His eyes suddenly flash. You don't care about Celeste at all. You're just arguing to save your own skin. No, that isn't. You pretend you care about my sister, but you don't. You just want us to let you go free, maybe with a tap of the wrist and warning not to do it again. This whole time while you were spouting pretty stories about Celeste, you were only thinking about yourself. It seems I made Zeus angry. That wasn't my intention, though. I'm not very good with words. That's why I became a warrior. Isn't isn't the only thing I'm good at. Cecile, Shut up. Cecile's face is pale. She brings her hands against her ears, pressing the palms flat against both sides of her head. I don't think she is willing to listen to reason. I don't think she is willing to listen to anything. Shut up. Shut up. Shut. And then I hear a loud roar. The roar rumbles through the very earth itself. The walls of my underground prison tremble. The pond of rusty water by my foot shakes. Ripples spreads across the ominously. A few paddles of dissolves from my stone walls. The dissolves from the roof. It feels like my bones are rattling beneath my skin. Yeah. Cecilia shrieks and surprise. Her chair topples over backwards and she throws her against the floor. The roar has stopped now, but the vibration continues. My teeth clack together like castanets. Cecilia whimpers. She rubs her behind with one hand. What on earth? There it is again. It starts as soon as it stops. Another roar, like a quieter this time, further away. Then there's a shriek. A lot of shrieks. Screaming. Yelling. I can smell the panic in the air. I can smell the chaos. I can smell the fear. I can smell... My nostrils twitch, my whole body tenses. Death and destruction. Smoke and fire. I know what this is. There's only one thing that this could be. It's our dragon. What do you mean? I recognize this sound. There's a dragon in Forsyth Village. But no. Cecilia staggers backwards, her eyes widen even further. If such a thing is possible with obvious fright, it can't be. Not here. But it is. All I can tell, I know this sound. I know this smell. Burning buildings. Burning bodies. I hope not. I can't read more. Let's check one thing. Do we have a picture of the dragon? No, we do not. I have to continue reading until we can get some conclusion or a picture. Imagine a Freyco's village come to my mind. I thought I pushed these down into my subconscious until I trod them into the dirt with the heels of my shoes. Evidently not. I'm not as tough as I used to be. I remember the fire, the smoke, the smog. There were burning bodies scattered across the road, a shared corpse hanging in the doorway of a building, attempting to escape, forever halted in the process. The sheep burned, the pigs burned, the cows burned, even the sky itself seems to burn. I don't want the same fate to befall Forsyth, but first... Cecilia, listen, you have to let me go. I can't. Yes, you can. Release your enchantment and open the cell. But the execution... they're still worrying about that. There won't be anybody left in Forsyth to execute me if you don't let me go. There's another roar. It shakes the ground. It shakes my bones. It shakes my very heart so hard it knocks against my ribcage. I gasp for breath. Even down here beneath the surface of the earth, the prisoners are kept away from the light. I can smell the burning. It's already started. But how can I trust you? If I let you go, you will run away. You'll just run away again, like you did at Faircross Village, like you did with my sister. No, I won't. I promise. But how do I know that? You already done it once. You could do it again. What's stopping you? I don't know. A sense of duty, perhaps. Despite her obvious abdication fears, Cecile's able to muster up a snort. She doesn't look, nor does she sound very convinced. A sense of duty. You didn't have as much back in Freycross Village. Maybe not, but it was too late for Freycross Village. I left before the dragon attacked. When I came back, almost everybody had perished already. I found a medic on the road and asked them if they would help, but I don't know if they turned back or not. What? He stares at me. But I thought you just walked away. I did walk away because there was nothing I could do, but this is different. Fair Siberia is different. I'm here now and I can help you. I could save you if you only let me go and give my sword. Well, I hear a roar again, this rumbling. We're running out of time. Cecilia, please. I shout at her, pleading, almost begging. Now this is a rare occurrence. The great warrior kid doesn't beg. It doesn't really suit my image. It's a good thing I never cared all that much about my image. I don't feel any particular shame in begging. If it will help prevent yet another senseless slaughter, my own pride doesn't mean all that much. If I threw it away, Cecilia, I don't care what you think of me, but please let me help you. I have to. Ah! Cecilia blinks, looks at me, her lips pursed, pale pink splashed against the creamy skin like this petals of a rose. And then she slowly but surely, alright, she nods her head. I do it. And she releases her enchantment from the bars of my cell. When I step outside into the darkness, my trusted sword in hand, I'm instantly hit by just how terrible the situation is. Several of the buildings are afire already, detached, the roofs are blazing, burning. Red and yellow flames dance, lapping in the velvet blue sky like tongues. Something about it seems almost degenerated, unpleasant or immoral. It isn't just the house that are alight. The trees that in foresight are burning too. They stand sentinel like torches, bleeding heat into the night. It really is hot, unpleasant and warm. I can feel myself sweating, my fingers resting against the hilt of my sword feel uncommonly slippery. Embers flickers, the firefly, smoke and smog bellow through the air like a shroud of catches in my hair, in my nose, in my mouth. When I inhale, I smell death. I can taste death too. Burning fat and flesh. The pig that I saw earlier this afternoon throttling by the well is lying on the ground. Its legs are stuck in the air and the eyes are glazed, fixed on hovering as the body is black. Burnt to a crisp. I turn my head. Look around. There's nothing to see here, just destruction. Doom and gloom. People running, shouting, crying. There's nothing important right now. Where's the dragon? Ah! It doesn't take me long to find it. Being a large-scale lizard, it's hard for it to hide, especially in a small, tiny village like this. No, I can't read anymore. I can probably manage to take a picture of the dragon if I can. But at least that was all I had for Tales of Talia Arcadia. This time then, so hit like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. BroFive!